Today on Community Uplift, is there anything about your community that you wish you could change? Are there issues facing your community that need to be addressed? You know, like illiteracy, lack of employment opportunities, lack of awareness and information about health, social and civil rights? But first, there's a new sheriff in town, or a new president of Gamma Pi. We're going to be talking about all of that and more when we come back. So don't go away, Community Uplift is next. Hello, I'm Denise Smith, formerly Denise Roberts, and welcome to Community Uplift. Social action is about people coming together to help improve their lives and solve the problems that are important in their communities. It involves people giving their time and other resources for the common good in a range of forms, like volunteering and community-owned services, to community organizing or simple neighborly acts. What do you care about, and how do you address it? But before we get to that, today's guests are Stephen Walls, the basilisk of the Gamma Pi Qs, Ikey Staton, Jr., chairman of the Social Action Committee, Anthony Kelly, co-chair of the Social Action Committee, and Minister Teraleen Campbell, charter member of the Tau Delta Zeta chapter of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. First up is Stephen Walls, president of the Prince George's County chapter of Omega Psi Phi Gamma Pi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me this evening.
So, you're the new basilisk.
Yes, I am.
The new sheriff.
The new sheriff of town.
But this isn't your first time.
No.
What's your history been with Gamma Pi?
So, my first tenure as basilisk occurred in 1998, so about probably 21 years ago, so that makes me officially old. Mm-hmm. From there, actually, let me back up. So I progressed through the various chairs in the chapter. So I was assistant keeper of records and CO, or assistant secretary. Then I became secretary of the chapter. Then I became vice basilisk or vice president, and then president. So that's a little bit of my tenure.
So you've been fairly active your entire time here. Where were you made?
So I was made in spring '90 in Gamma Pi.
Okay.
So I was actually the first basilisk that was initiated in that chapter.
Okay.
So.
Okay. How has the chapter changed since you were president the first time?
So probably the major change is the growth. So the chapter was probably 3 times as large now as it was my first tenure. My first tenure, we probably had about 70 or 80 members in the chapter, and now we are in excess of 200 members of the chapter. So number one is the growth. Mm-hmm. Just in terms of volume. The second change is probably the dynamic of the chapter. So in the early days of the chapter was primarily educators, but now we have a great mix of PhDs, musicians, lawyers, doctors. We've even have a commercial pilot in the chapter. So it's probably the other major change is the diversity of professions in the chapter.
What's that commercial pilot?
So he's actually a JetBlue pilot.
Oh, I see. Yep. I see. Okay. Oh, that's awesome. So what are your goals for the chapter for this year? And how long is your term?
So my term is 1 year. We have 1 year terms.
Okay.
You can succeed yourself twice, so it'll be 1 year.
Okay. So what's your vision for this year?
So my vision for this year, actually coming into the fraternity year, was I guess it's a phrase that I monikered, which is vision, culture, and continuous improvement. So what I wanted to do coming in was to, number one, keep the excellence of the programs of the chapter up. Number two, try to scale those programs that we deem address the socioeconomical issues throughout the county. And one of the big things we want to do is to scale throughout the various districts in the county, not just say stay in just one spot, and just excellence without excuses.
Okay. What's been going on for this year so far?
So this year, pretty busy as usual. Starting from our fraternity year in November, we've had our annual turkey giveaway, annual toy drive. We are getting ready to go into our talent hunt program, which you all talked about in a previous episode.
Yes, and I so enjoy that.
So we also just came from a successful fundraiser, our Super Bowl, or we call it our big game party, but it's on Super Bowl Sunday. We've had that for probably the past 20 years.
Okay, I didn't hear about that
Oh,
one.
we got to get you an invitation.
Yes.
Very successful fundraiser.
Okay.
So before Talent Hunt, we have a program that's called the Memorial Service, or Memorial Day. So every year, every chapter is mandated to have a memorial service to honor those brothers who have gone on before us.
Sounds good.
Typically March 12th or any time around March 12th. And so our program has grown large. So we used to just have it as a chapter. Now we have it as an area-wide program. So the chapters in our, what we call our quarter, which is about 15 chapters, come to Lincoln Memorial Cemetery, which is a very historic cemetery in the county. In fact, all four of our founders are buried within our district, but two of our founders are buried in Suitland, Maryland.
Okay, which ones are those?
So Colonel, well, let me back up. So first is Ernest Everett Just, who was the first Spingarn Medal winner. And then Frank Coleman is also buried up the hill from him. But we also have other brothers in the cemetery. Colonel Carter G. Woodson and also Charles Drew are also buried in that cemetery.
Okay. Okay. What makes Gamma Pi, your chapter, the super chapter, so special to you?
Well, what makes us super is that we play hard, but we work even harder. So we really have an emphasis on service. And in fact, we provide so much service that we've been recognized throughout the district. We're the 3-time chapter of the year. Within the 2nd district, we won the social action chapter of the year. So we've been recognized for our service. So I think the separation for us is that we're known for our social action, for our social programs, but we're also probably more widely known for our social actions than our philanthropy.
Okay, so I don't really hear as much activity from the other chapters. Am I just not hearing it, or is your chapter the most active in this area?
I think we are the most active. We have a wide stretch across the county, and we promote our social action programs probably as much or even more widely than our social programs. So that's probably why most hear about us rather than other chapters.
Okay. You plan on, what if someone wanted to find out more information about your chapter and about the fraternity, where would they go?
They can go to our website, which is www.gammapi.org. They can also look for us on Twitter or all social media, Gamma Pi Qs.
Okay. Stephen Walls, thank you so much for stopping in today, your first time on the show since we've been hosting. And I just want to wish you all the best for this year.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Don't go away, because we'll be back to talk about something we all need to be thinking about. Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in with us on Community Uplift. My next guests are Ikey Staton Jr., Chairman of the Social Action Committee for the Gamma Pi Qs, and Anthony Kelly, Co-Chair of the Social Action Committee. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so what is social action to your chapter, and why is it so important?
Well, social action is very important to us because it gives us the opportunity to reach out to the community. One of our mandated programs is social action. So what we try to do is get the pulse of the community and meet their needs.
Okay. How does Gamma Pi's social action program, or how is your program structured?
Program is structured, basically, we have systemic programs monthly. And currently we are doing a program with the senior citizens. We're looking into getting into Cheltenham, and we also are dealing with Christmas in April. It's a program that we have done for several years.
So, and do you have a team or a committee to help you plan out these programs?
Yes, we meet monthly via either Wegmans or conference call, and we discuss what upcoming programs we're going to have and deal with the other, say that there's a blood drive or there's a health fair that some of the community wants us to participate in.
Okay, and what are some of the ones that you have recently sponsored in the past few months?
Well, one of my staple programs that I've sponsored myself is Christmas in April. This is a chance for us to reach out to the community to do some gentrification of homes. This is one of the actually PG County's programs that we joint venture with, and it's something that is dear to my heart because I've served it for over 10 years.
Okay, and how are you directly involved in the Christmas and April program? Did you initiate the program?
Well, actually it was given over to me, as we shared before, is that, we partner sometimes with other entities in the community. So what it is that we have someone called a captain, and that captain reaches out to those who have asked to participate in the program. And so Gamma Pi has participated in this program for over more than 15 years, and I just inherited that program.
Okay. Is there a theme to your chapter's level of social action?
I think basically is that we want to put our face and our brand for the community. We want the areas of Suitland, the hard-hit economic cities, parts of Prince George's County, to really see our face out. We'll clean up the highways. We'll do various other programs along the county, whatever they need. We even done Boy Scouts, I believe.
Yeah, social action is so many different things to so many different people, and it seems like every program that you have touches social action in some way. I mean, would you say that?
That's a good observation. Actually, what we try to do is we try to cast our net out and touch different types of lives. We do senior citizens, kids at risk, Q kids, yes. We do Project Enrich. We have for Cheltenham, for those who are incarcerated at temporal times. We try to do a lot of things, because there's a lot of dynamics in PG County. So.
Tell me about the Cheltenham program.
Well, the Cheltenham program, we're going to start. We're starting our exploratory program, which we talked to a couple of people who are affiliated with the Cheltenham. And what we want to do, we want to come in there monthly, and we want to discuss, planned fatherhood. We want to get them reacclimated back into school. I know a lot of them have dealt with domestic violence, how they can change their lives. We're also looking at fatherhood also, I know a lot of them probably have young kids, and I know that it's probably a strain on their relationship with them, and we're just trying to bridge a gap in between that.
Okay. How do you go about soliciting partnerships from the community to work with you on your social action programs?
Well, we have many vehicles for that. We have our Twitter, we have our social medias like YouTube, where we're out, and then those people will come back and say, hey, we want to partner with you. We have a Gamma Pi website, so we use those different channels for people to reach out to. We even have our traditional email, the GammaPi.org email.
Okay. Ikey, who are some of your partners?
We work with the Zetas on book bags.
Okay.
We also have done programs with other Divine Nines. We are also affiliated with the Panhandle, and we can do blood drives. I know the AKs ask us to do the blood drive. Deltas will ask us.
I was about to say, because you haven't mentioned Delta not one time yet.
I mean, they don't call us the Marine Corps, the Divine Nine for nothing. So we definitely are out there to help and provide our services to this community.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Which ones are coming up really soon?
What's coming up really soon? We're getting into we have Windsor Crossing now. That's a senior citizen, and we're looking to.
That's in Suitland, right?
Suitland,
yes.
right. So we're looking to help the seniors know that upcoming events. So we want to change their diets. We know that we're bringing a chef in to help show them how to budget their money and what type of meals should they be eating now. We also have lawyers with estate planners. Kind of bad, but we have funeral directors also to help the families understand that this, even though we don't want this to happen, but it could be coming soon.
Right.
And dementia, we're also doing a dementia program also with one of our chapter brothers.
Okay, is that all at Windsor Crossing?
We're doing that, and that's on a monthly basis.
Okay, so you're working with Elsie Jacobs?
Yes.
Oh yeah, love that lady, right? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
You tell her to call me though.
Do you want me to tell her to call you?
call.
Okay, I'll tell you to call you. Okay, all right. So how do you decide which ones you're going to work on? Which programs?
We have a planning session in August. So I know our fraternity meets normally off-site, normally over a day program. And we discuss, what programs that we want to keep, what programs that we want to, not use this year. And we basically just want to do a more monthly systemic program in which that we can catch the matrix of what we're trying to do.
Okay. Anthony, what's the most satisfying aspect of social action for Omega Men?
I think the satisfaction is what you see in their face when you've done a job well done. One of the things I told you about was the Christmas in April. When we were done, I could see tears in the man's face, and that touched me, to know that actually even in our Project Enrich, there's a young man who's finished Project Enrich, but he still keeps in contact with me. And we have somewhat like a mentoringship type relationship that goes past the program. So we've built relationships with the community. It's just not something we do and we say thanks and we pull the troops out. We have an impact and we have a relationship with them.
And the young men that come out of Project Enrich, do some of them go on and become Omega Men also?
Yes, they do. Several.
We have several young men.
Yes, one is working in Project Enrich right this moment.
Decided they wanted to cross some burning sands.
Yes.
And if a community organization wanted to work with the Gamma Pi, how would they reach out to you?
They will go on to all of our social media, Twitter. We have a Twitter account. We have Instagram. We also have Facebook and our Gamma Pi website that you can go or just, see what we do in the community. And
come on out.
Come on out. And, if you drive past and you see us picking up some trash on Suitland, come on in.
So in the Suitland, is that your base there? Because you're mentioning Suitland, but
yes,
but you go out into other areas.
We'll go
yeah.
every area.
Yeah. I went to Suitland High School, so I'm happy that you're in Suitland.
We'll have call-outs to other places. We'll get people will ask us because they hear about us and they ask us at joint ventures. Sometimes it'll span beyond the PG County. It'll go somewhere else. Yes.
Okay. Listen, Ikey and Anthony, thank you so much for coming on today. I love the work that you guys are doing, and I wish you well on what you got coming up. Please send me an invitation. I'll be there. I'll be there. Okay. All right. Don't go away because we'll be right back. Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in with us on Community Uplift. My next guest is 1 whole century old. Well, she's not, but her sorority is. Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated just celebrated their centennial, and here to talk with us is Minister Teraleen Campbell, charter member of the Tau Delta Zeta chapter of Zeta Phi Beta. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
So you just celebrated your centennial. How was that?
Centennial was, I guess as the millennials would say, lit. Yeah, it was lit. It was awesome. We, of course, partied, celebrated in the spirit of sisterhood. But beyond that, we also had a women's empowerment seminar and symposium that featured April Ryan and Anita Hill, who is a Zeta soror, and some other wonderful women that talked about women's issues in our community.
Okay, well, can you give us some background on the Zeta history?
Sure. Zeta was founded January 16th, 1920, as the sister organization to Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. And we were founded basically on the premise that the ills and the issues of the day should not be overshadowed by elitism. And so we were really founded to address some of the issues in our communities, and that's what we've been doing now for 100 years.
Okay, sounds good. And what about your chapter's history here in Prince George's County? How did it get started?
Tau Delta Zeta, we call it TDZ for short. TDZ was chartered in April of 2003, and we were chartered by 10 other women, in addition to myself, total of 11 women, who really saw a need in the northern Prince George's County area to serve the community. 11 enterprising women who just wanted to make a difference, and that's now from 11 we have 145 members, and we're just still serving.
Okay, what else about the profile of your chapter? You know, I know you talked about the number, but what's the makeup? What's the professional makeup of your sorority?
Well, the makeup we're a diverse group of women. We're educators, of course, and we're business women. We're women who are in STEM. We are lawyers. We're doctors. We're in ministry, and so yeah, we're just today's Black woman.
And are most of your members from Prince George's County, or do you have a lot that come from other areas?
We have a great mix. I would say there are women who joined Zeta in Maryland, in the state of Maryland, and grew up in this local area, and then there are other women who have made Prince George's County their home.
Okay. How relevant is the Divine Nine organizations when it comes to creating opportunities in the African American community, you know, today?
That's a great question. I think that, you know, that question comes up sometimes, questioning the relevance of our organizations. And I believe that we are still very, very relevant in terms of creating opportunities, in terms of serving our communities, in terms of mentoring our youth. Tau Delta Zeta has a youth auxiliary. We call them the Arcanet Club. And those are high school young ladies, and they are very active, and we're very engaged with them. Right now, as we're taping, one of our Arcanets is doing her senior night at her high school, and there's Zeta sorors there supporting her. So, you know, that is very relevant in this society.
What are some of your other key projects?
Domestic violence, combating domestic violence, as you probably are aware, in Prince George's County, that is a major issue. Prince George's County, second to Baltimore in the state in terms of domestic violence instances. And so that is one of our signature programs in this community. And so we have an event called Harmony in the Home that we educate and address the issue of domestic violence. And then we also do some hands-on service, assisting and supporting women and victims. I don't want to call them victims, but survivors of domestic violence. We partner with some organizations to do that. And then supporting our students. We've got a college and career fair that's coming up on the second Saturday in March, for example, where we partner with Prince George's County Schools and hold a college and career fair where we want to encourage our youth towards college.
Okay. How do you determine what types of projects you know, to bring out during each year, and how do you assess which ones are most needed in the community?
We have an annual planning meeting, similar to what I heard our Omega friends say that they do. We do that as well. We have an annual meeting. We assess the needs in the county, in the community, and then we plan accordingly. And then Zeta Phi Beta on an international level has certain programs and projects that chapters are expected to participate in. For example, a partnership with the March of Dimes. So we support the March of Dimes and fight preterm premature births, and that's disproportionately impacts African American women. Elder care is another one of our initiatives. So we've adopted a senior center in Lanham, Arbor Terrace Senior Center, and we support those seniors. And so that's something that's very important to us. We've adopted a school in the county, Laurel Elementary School, and we provide support to the students and the teachers at Laurel Elementary School. We are a constant presence there. And then we also, as the Brothers of Gamma Pi mentioned, we work with them and Sisters for Sisters and an annual back to school drive. So we really look to be that hole that plugs and fills the void in the community.
Okay, so you are a minister.
I am.
What church do you serve?
I serve at Greater Mount Calvary Holy Church in Washington, D.C. where Bishop Alfred A. Owens is my pastor.
Okay, and you're not only a minister, but you're an author.
Yes, I am.
Let's talk about, it says from carefree to caregiver. Talk about that book.
The book is an example of pain being turned to purpose to help somebody else. Honestly, it segues into our elder care initiative in Zeta, but I was a caregiver for 7 years for my mom. And so I chronicled that journey and made it a devotional book to support other caregivers. It's part of my way. My mom transitioned in 2017, so the book is part of my way of memorializing that journey and uplifting other caregivers.
Okay, and where can people find your book?
It's available on Amazon. It's available at Walmart.com, Target.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and on my website, TeraleenCampbell.com.
Okay. Teraleen Campbell, thank you so much for being here. I wish you all the best with your book, and congratulations on your centennial, and just wishing you all the best.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It's a pleasure.
And that's our show for today because we are out of time. But I want to say thank you again to all of our guests, Stephen Walls, Ikey Staton Jr., Anthony Kelly, and Minister Teraleen Campbell. For more information about the show or Gamma Pi's social action programs and how you too can get involved, go to www.gammapi.org. Gamma Pi is also on Twitter at Gamma Pi Qs and on Facebook at Gamma Pi Chapter. And the YouTube channel is Gamma Pi Chapter. Thank you again for watching. I'm Denise Smith, your host, and we'll see you next time on Community Uplift.